Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight, Leo. Now we are working today with the Princess of Cups. That is the card that is pulled up. And let's see if we can get this in focus. There we go. And this is a card that has to do with a lot with a focus on kind of coming into emotional maturity, at least coming to a place where you are able to control your emotions a little more, okay? Overcome some bouts of jealousy, you know, the impulse to kind of manipulate people with your emotions, and kind of, you know, just really come into that place in your being where you more and more kind of function out of areas of yourself that feel more authentic. And while they are self-serving, of course, it's not bad for something to be self-serving as long as, right, it's not predatory, hopefully, of others. And so this is kind of like in that place of evolution, okay, out of that more childlike mine, or, you know, not wanting to share, not wanting to, you know, kind of come to a place of compromise, but also trying to get a hold of yourself when those big emotions come up, right, and process them instead of letting them kind of rule you and take over the situation. Okay, now let's take a look at what we have here. Immediately I see the large deer. Okay, and here's the head, and here are the antlers, and this looks like it would be, come down here, and I'm sorry. I even gave the cat catnip to see if he would stay in the other room, but he did not. Come on. Come on, babes. Get down. No, don't drink that tea. You'll be up all night. Okay, keep going. Okay, so as soon as they hear me start talking, it's just, okay. So we have, it looks like a younger male deer because of the smaller antlers. Also kind of, just kind of a little more thin and under, you know, not as developed as a mature stag would be. Okay, so I feel like this coincides with this idea of growing into kind of those early adult year kind of mentality, like the mentality that you hopefully are starting to work on in your early adult life. Does that always happen then? No, of course not. Things that I should have been working on when I was like 19 didn't come to me until I was like in my 30s. So some of us are later to the party, right? So it doesn't really matter how old, but these are kind of the things that we expect out of a person, you know, maybe probably foolishly, really, that you would get to a point where you're not playing those kind of you know, games, that romantic games, or kind of just really kind of like living in a dysfunctional lifestyle with other people, like as far as the way that you communicate, the way that you upkeep your relationships, the kind, like I said, manipulation, right? And I think all this stuff is stuff that you have totally worked on, and have gotten to a point where I think that you really have kind of worked through a lot of maybe your jealousy issues, some anger, distrust. But I do think that this kind of has been due to especially one relationship, maybe your last relationship or your last really involved relationship. And I think that there was kind of a difficult parting. There was probably some amount of, you know, just back and forth. It was not easy. I feel that there were maybe, and I'm looking here, it looks like we have these two creatures kind of standing at the peaks here, and they look like they're face to face, kind of just locked in a battle a little bit. And I think that it really did come down to jealousy issues, and possibly just, you know, feelings of maybe they were cheating on you, or they were not honoring, you know, your boundaries as far as possibly like monogamy goes. But it seems like, you know, there was a split. There's probably a split up here, that you are not together. And there has been some time between where there has been some contemplation. And I'm looking here, I'm seeing this kind of, this face here. It looks a little sad, right? But I feel that you went through a period of kind of mourning, getting, you know, back into your better senses and starting to work on yourself and really kind of get things together, get moving in life, finding, you know, stability, consistency. And it seems that, and I think that probably what is happening is that this is kind of all being tested. And I think that this is kind of, and I'm looking over here, we have this little, it looks like a bird. It also looks a little bit like a mouse. But I think that we have this person kind of sneaking back into your life to some degree. And I think that probably they maybe went out there, they tried to date, or maybe they went off with somebody and that didn't work out. And now here they are at your doorstep once again. And I feel like this is kind of where we are in the reading, right? In the now. And you know what? I'm reading this as being a romantic thing, but I also wonder, this could be a friendship. This could be, you know, somebody who you were very close with. You had some kind of falling out. You spent some time away, and now they've burnt up their other friendships or whatever they were doing. Their relationship fell apart, so they're back at, you know, groveling at your feet to some degree. But, you know, I feel like in this time away, you kind of really worked on trying to get over these feelings of jealousy, of being suspicious, you know, just kind of having a real hard time trusting. And ultimately, I think all of that is really, you know, that's really good work. We all should work on those things. Especially when, you know, they really start to arise in our life and become kind of a pattern. But I think in this situation, and I don't want to undo any of this work that you've done, but I feel like this person was probably deceitful in some way. And I think that you were probably pretty correct about what they were doing. I think this time around, though, you have more of a clear vision of the bigger picture, right? I think that you kind of have more understanding outside of this really immediate emotional attachment, and you can see what kind of person you're dealing with here. So is that going to stop you? I don't know. I don't know. But I do see, and this is, I do see this kind of, if you think about that movie Dune, or the books, of course, or what is it, Beetlejuice? It's like a giant worm that comes out of the sand and it just eats people up. And here's the person right here. There's the, even has the little horn, like the little horned worm or horned snake, flinging people around. Look, just chaos. So I really think that you're dealing with somebody who is all out for self a lot of the time. Do we have empathy? Because they probably, this is a learned behavior. This is a coping mechanism because maybe they've come from, you know, difficult circumstances. For sure. We can have empathy for people and still maintain boundaries, though. I think that this is just, I don't, you know, I can't tell you what to do. Of course not. But in my opinion, this is not a good situation. Not a good relationship. Not somebody that you even want as a friend in your life. Just because there just are people in the world that will come in and try to drain you of everything. Resources, energy, time. Think about how often this person asks how you're doing when you talk, right? How often do they even inquire about your life? Do they remember the names of people who are important to you? You know, do they remember your stories? You know, I mean, just things like this, little things. People tell you who they are. I mean, they show you, and you have to believe them. You know, I mean, you have to believe them. And so, you know, this is not going to be an easy thing. I think it will be emotional, but ultimately, whatever path you choose, you know, one is kind of the shorter path to peace. The other one's going to be a little bit more prolonged, but I don't think it's going to last either way. I mean, not the peace, the relationship or the friendship. So, other than that, I see a little plane. And to me, that feels like, get out of here. Just go. Get on that plane and go. Don't stick around to see how this works out. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this really to me looks like it looks like you're coming into a place where maybe you have a little bit of savings or some financial fortune that has come about probably through your own work, not just like raining down from the sky, but you've been good with your money. And I hope that you know, you will continue to be mindful and protective of your resources I know that the summer can lead to a lot of spending for everybody, but especially, you know, signs like Leo and, although in the southern hemisphere, I will say it is winter or going into winter. But, you know, the birthday season is coming. The joyous festivities and such are coming. But I do think that, you know, just either saving this money, really, really saving it, or thinking about putting it into some kind of way to invest it in something, or have your money make money for you, even if it's just small. You know what I mean? I think this is just a really good time in your life to be thinking about the future, thinking about what you can do with some of that. Just even if it's, you know, $5, $10, $20 a month, whatever. Find something that makes sense to you. Find something that isn't super boring, unless, you know, it's putting it away in some kind of savings or whatever. But I think really important to think about your future. And I think that the way that things are just configured for you, I think that you are with this kind of drive towards the self-work, but also, you know, thinking about this, and really I am seeing this foundation, you know, and really working on, you know, and even if you're already, hey, maybe you're retired, maybe you're set for now, you know, you have a plan and it's been working, maybe just putting this away for some kind of future trip or project you want to do. But yeah, I think that this is like the right alignment for you to be kind of making that money grow in some way, okay? And I'm not talking about something risky, okay? I'm not trying to sell you on anything in particular, but I do think that sometimes in our lives we get to a place where we have a few extra bucks, you know. I used to like try to invest some of my tip money when I was waiting tables and that kind of thing. And so if I had a good weekend, I would, you know, try to have my money make some money for me. And so, you know, just thinking about these kinds of things never hurts, right? Okay, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am always so honored to bring these messages to you. I hope you all are doing so well. And if you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And I say us because we are a community that is growing here. Each and every one of you is so important to this channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell button. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I try to get back to everyone within a few hours. I, you know, try my best. Some days are really busy, but I do get back to all of them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk again very soon.